Oh, good morning, Lucindas. New day, obviously. I think yesterday... Oh, let me tell you where I am first. So I've come to a spot I haven't been to for probably 3 years, right? This trek, really, if you like. And I thought, why haven't I been there? Because I used to live it there. And I thought, I know why. I was coming up here one day and then there was just too many dogs and too many people about. Like, everybody was there. And it went, oh. And so I just never came again. But I came here for years. Every day. To walk the dogs. And then I was driving by the other day and I went, oh, it was nice there. I used to like going there. And so I've given it another whirl. Very early in the morning, so there's no people about. We've got our coffee. I made a video yesterday and I had to delete it because I made it when I was walking the dogs at Westbury Whitehorse, and then some more while I was at Roundway Hill, and it was very windy, and of course the camera catches the wind. Oh, it might be another reason to not come this way. Churned up and muddy, which I thought wouldn't be now because the ground's been dry for a while. Oh, I don't know. Farmers tore through there and messed it right up. There you go. Ow! Yeah, so it was the video I made. It was too windy and that, and I was going to edit it last night and post it ready for today. And it was, I had to delete it. It was no good, just no good. So, fresh video today. I might revisit that one because it was a better subject, but I might revisit it another time. But I'll tell you what part of it was, which I'll tell you now. So, what I have noticed, I've noticed it for years, 50 years, is travellers effectively setting up homes. They buy a little plot of land, a strip of land usually that nobody wants. It's an odd bit of land. They'll buy it for not a lot of money, acre, 2 acres maybe. And they just move in there very quietly, stay for years. And somehow they get away with it. I don't even know if they get planning permission or they get retrospective planning permission to have mobile homes on there. I don't know. But they do it and they get away with it. You go, well, fair play. At least they're one step closer to the life I and most of us live, reasonably stable. Says he with a camper van. Well, you get the drift, But I thought, how do they get away with it? And I thought, I don't know. I just don't know. Because so many people who live in camper vans full time or a lot of the time, I'm a lot of the time. Weather's got to be right. I've got to be well. I've got to feel enthusiastic about life, and that's me off, But a lot of us are having trouble over the last few years, I've noticed, and lots of YouTubers are talking about it. Trouble's parking in the seaside towns and then nowhere to stay overnight. And people are continually on the move and parking up in places they don't really want to be, sometimes. Anyway, coming back to a friend of mine, he wanted to buy a plot of land a few years back. And I see a lot of YouTubers are thinking about it. They seem to be going to Portugal and Spain to doing it. And they want to live on their bit of land, very simply. And off-grid, as it's known. But in this country, it's very difficult. My friend who was looking into it... Oh, there's another man, because it's quite early this morning. My friend who looked into it, I must check with him, but he said, I remember him saying, you get a plot of land, apparently you're only allowed to stay on it a certain amount of time over the course of a year, right? So if you buy a plot of land, you can stay on it, for argument's sake, I'll say 28 days, it might be 40 days, I don't know what it is. If you know, put it in the comments. So that got me thinking. So then it made me think, but what if you bought just say you bought an acre of land and you went on it and you stayed there for the allocated period of time you're allowed to be there, but then you go, right, so I leave now and I'll do other things. What, could someone else go on it and stay for the 28 days, 40 days, whatever it is, and then they come off it and someone else go on it for 28 days, whatever? And then that got me thinking. I went, so what if a load of people grouped together and bought a couple of acres of land, be it pasture land or what's the other one, arable land, and it's about 10 grand an acre. So say you just bought a couple of acres, 20 grand, 10 of you got together, 2 grand a piece, right? You bought the land. Then a little bit more expense with the solicitors and that. What if you then took that, say 2 acres, and technically divided it, officially divided it into 20 plots of land all around, you know, strips of land all around, squares all the way around, if you like. So it went around the field. So could you go and stay on your plot of land, be it now a 30 by 30 plot of land, all right? Could you stay on that, and then after 28 days, technically you've got to leave. Could you go and live on next door's land for 28 days and then leave and move on next door's for 28 days? So if you all moved on to your plots of land, which are adjoined, whatever the allotted time was, could you just, because you're all campervans, like campervan people, could you all just go, all right, today's the day we all move, and you all get in your vans and you go, whoop, and you drive 30 feet to the next plot, which belongs to Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D, all the way around the field. And you could have a communal bit in the middle there for parking and chilling, not parking, for socialising, gathering, chilling out, relaxing, picnics, whatever, couldn't you? But you'd have to have 20 people who are very like-minded, same frame of mind, same attitude, not raving all night till 3 in the morning. No. So that could be a plan. That could, if that's the case, like somebody's only allowed to stay on it 28 days and no one else is allowed on it, it's a no-go. But if you're allowed to stay on it 28 days and someone else can stay on it 28 days and so on, why don't you all chip in and buy a couple of acres into individual plots all around? See what I mean? And I thought, oh, that could be it. I wonder if that would work. So, but we'd probably have to ask a solicitor. That is an excellent coffee this morning. So I'm in some fields near where I live. I used to walk the dogs here a lot. The farmer has been gone mad. I have been here for a long time. Look, and chopped all this down all the way up. And it actually looks very different when you come in. It's like I don't recognise the place. But I haven't been here for a few years. And over there, behind me now, is Giles's Wood. And the other side of that hedge is the Kennet and Avon Canal. And it's a nice little spot. I met the guy who planted those woods. The Giles family are a big family from the area. They used to have milk floats, and the sons and grandsons have got businesses and that now. But he planted that woods, I suppose you'd call it a small woods, like 1972 or something. And now it's flourished, you know. It's lovely, it's really nice. Anyway, if someone thinks that buying some acres and splitting it into individual plots officially, legally, and that could do, we need to contact the solicitor and find out. And then who's to say we couldn't pursue that? Just a thought. Anyway, from me, Teddy and Bear, I won't show you Teddy because he's having a 2-bob, which I've got to go and pick up and put in my empty coffee cup. Right, so we'll catch you later. So, as Jonah would say, out. But I have a tendency to go. See you later. So, bye for now. Bye.